Hello, welcome to Critical Joke Theory with your host, G.D. Fenderson, Certified Forensic Humorist. Now with new joke technology. Hi, I'm G.D. Fenderson, Certified Forensic Humorist at large, but I'm losing weight. Welcome to Critical Joke Theory, episode 63. Now with new joke technology and open caption for the humor impaired. Iconic actor, comedian, Martin Mull has died at the age of 80. He finally lost his battle against a lung disease. Lung disease has been killing a lot of people these days. Maybe we should have a 5K to fight lung disease. We already have one for lung disease, and most people with lung disease can't even run 5K. How hard can it be to change one letter? Martin Mull played Colonel Mustard in the movie Clue. He was also hilarious in Mary Hartman, where he played Garth, and Mull was in the spin-off Fernwood Tonight, where he played Garth's twin brother, Barth. Mull was also in Taxi, Roseanne, and Golden Girls. I think he played Sophia, but I could be wrong. Martin Mull, you really killed it in Hollywood with the candlestick holder. Rest in peace. Kiki Jabbar, who appeared in OWN's Love and Marriage, Huntsville, has died. Her family confirmed through social media posts. She was 42. She passed away peacefully at home, surrounded by love, 4 doors, but no cameras. And they call it reality TV. Kiki Jabbar's friend, Joanne Jenkins, a YouTuber, explained that Jabbar, who could easily fall asleep whenever she felt sleepy, visited her sister the night before her passing and left around 4 a.m. Kiki fell asleep in her car in her garage while it was running. The car, not the garage. Her husband found her in the garage the following day, initially thinking she was asleep. Upon realizing she wasn't breathing, he tried to revive her, but couldn't. Jabbar passed away from carbon monoxide poisoning. Aside from being a cast member of Love and Marriage, Huntsville, Kiki had a lucrative career as a writer, editor, author, and English professor at Alabama A&M University. I was researching the literary works of Kiki Jabbar as part of this story, and this is what my search engine came up with. Quote, I apologize, but I couldn't find any information about literature specifically authored by Kiki Jabbar. It's possible that Kiki Jabbar is not a well-known author or that her work hasn't been widely published. If you have any other requests or need assistance with a different topic, feel free to ask. Close quotes. Rest in peace, Kiki Jabbar. Resting in car can kill you. Rest in peace, equal justice for all under the law. The Supreme Court on Monday ruled that twice impeached, 4 times indicted, unregistered sex offender, defeated felon ex-President Donald Trump is entitled to immunity from federal prosecution for official actions he took while in office, a landmark decision at the height of an election season that further delays the start of his criminal trial in Washington, D.C. So, if a president took $2 million to pardon a mass murderer doing a hate crime, since pardons is an official act, he cannot be charged for taking a $2 million bribe to pardon the mass murderer. The 6-3 decision along ideological lines tosses out a ruling from the Federal Appeals Court in Washington that concluded Trump is not entitled to broad immunity from the criminal charges stemming from an alleged scheme to hold onto power after the 2020 election. The justices sent the dispute back to the district court for further proceedings and gave the court little to no guidance about how to move forward, thus making sure that the voting public will be blind to the facts and evidence in these cases. Okay, the MAGA faithful would vote blindly anyway. That's just what they do. So it's official. Biden became King of the United States just in time to celebrate our independence from the King of England. History repeats itself because we weren't listening the first time. Legally, King Biden could revoke Trump's citizenship via denaturalization on the grounds that Trump took part in an attempt to overthrow our government. Actually, President Biden could do it as well. And if Trump is not a citizen, he cannot be president. King Biden, are you listening? Hurricane Beryl barreled through Jamaica as a Category 4 hurricane. It passed through the Cayman Islands on Thursday as a Category 2. It should hit landfall in northern Mexico and pass into southern Texas. If only Trump had finished building that wall. Maybe President Biden can change the storm's direction. Now, where did Trump put those Sharpies again? Speaking of storms, Shitstorm Giuliani has been banned from practicing law in the state of New York for his involvement in spreading falsehoods about the 2020 presidential election. I've lost count of the number of former Trump attorneys that have had their law privileges suspended because of that big lie bullshit, but the shits just keep on coming. A judge in Florida has ordered the surprise release of graphic transcripts from the state's 2006 prosecution of pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, a probe that ended with the millionaire financier receiving a legal slap on the wrist, though a slap on the ass would have been preferred. Epstein cut a deal in 2008 to avoid charges of sex trafficking and rape. He pleaded guilty to a lesser charge and was sentenced to 13 months in prison. The nearly 200 pages of documents contain details of Epstein's crimes, including first-hand accounts from victims and specifics about payoffs to underage victims. On Monday, Circuit Judge Luis Delgado ordered the 16-year-old documents released, writing that details in the record will be outrageous to decent people, adding that a 16-year-old document would have been too old for Epstein. The testimony taken by the grand jury concerns activity ranging from grossly unacceptable to rape. All of the conduct at issue is sexually deviant, disgusting, and criminal. Unless, of course, you are in the GOP. Then it's par for the course. Intercourse, of course. A judge declared a mistrial Monday after jurors said they were at an impasse in the murder trial of Karen Reed, the Massachusetts woman accused of killing her police officer boyfriend in 2022. If only there were a blue wall that he could have hidden behind for protection. The decision came on the fifth day of the deliberations and after a 9-week trial in a courthouse outside of Boston, where Reed's lawyers described the killing of John O'Keefe, 46, as a cover-up carried out by law enforcement officers, a case of blue-on-blue crime. Prosecutors had argued that Reed, 44, and O'Keefe had a tumultuous relationship that culminated with the financial analyst backing her Lexus SUV into her boyfriend and leaving him for dead, January 29, 2022. She was in her car and could have just left him for good instead of good and dead. Prosecutors say that they will retry the case, just in case. The case gets in case law, if that's the case. Judge Juan Merchan, who oversaw Trump's falsifying business records trial, where Trump was convicted of 34 felony charges, and somehow Biden's debate performance has people wanting him to withdraw from running for re-election, agreed on Tuesday to delay the former president's July 11th sentence date to September 18th. Donald Trump's request to reevaluate his hush money conviction in the wake of the Supreme Court's immunity decision may backfire on him because his sentencing date is now closer to the 2024 election date, according to experts. What the fuck do experts know? Trump can shoot his load in a man on Fifth Avenue, and his MAGA fans would just say that the man had it coming. Biden is getting a lot of grief lately because people, and by people I mean Democrats, are afraid that he's too old to run for re-election. Meanwhile, Republicans are supporting a twice impeached, 4 times indicted, unregistered sex offender, criminal felon who tried to overthrow the government and who is 78 years of age. This man is so evil, He wanted his followers to kill his VP, Mike Pence, for upholding the Constitution, which was both Pence's and Trump's job. A man who is so corrupt neither he nor his children can operate a business in New York. A man who is so toxic, almost half of his known attorneys have been barred from practicing law. The cold, honest truth is that the Biden-Harris administration has been quite good, even with the Republicans' best efforts to sabotage it. Yet some Democrats are having second thoughts. I'm sorry to imply that they were thinking. I should say second reactions. No, second overreactions. Well, how about this? Now it's time for a change. Harris at the top of the ticket. Biden a power bottom for our country. Harris-Biden 2024. Let's finish the job. Kamala's youth and experience supported by Biden's experience, compassion, and wisdom. Actually, the Democrats are not happy unless they're suffering. I'm just hoping that they don't need to suffer another Trump administration. Across the pond in the UK, Keir Starmer vowed to bring change to Britain as its next prime minister after his Labour Party surged to a landslide victory in a parliamentary election on Friday, ending 14 years of often tumultuous Conservative government. Tumultuous is how the British say shit show. The centre-left Labour Party won a massive majority in the 650-seat parliament, with Sunak's Conservatives suffering the worst performance in the party's long history as voters punished them for a cost of living crisis, failing public services, and a series of scandals. If a cost of living crisis and failing public services are conservative features, then scandals are the perks. Patrick Bertoletti wins Nathan's hot dog eating contest of 2024 with 58, and Nikki Sudo sets a new women's division record with 51. Sudo, 38, has won every year since 2014 except 2021. She sat that year out due to pregnancy because she didn't swallow the hot dog. Imagine how many hot dogs she could have swallowed because she was eating for two. Her personal best had previously been 48.5 hot dogs and buns, which she shattered this year with 51. Bertoletti, the 9th ranked eater in the world, according to Major League Eating, formerly known as the Glutton Support Group, before people started going gluten-free, jumped out toward early lead. Congratulations to Patrick Bertoletti and Miki Sudo, although the real winner is Charmin. Enjoy the go. And finally, speaking of shitting, Kevin Roberts of the Heritage Foundation has been making the rounds on a variety of shows. The people who brought you the 6 conservative injustices on the Supreme Court and hundreds of federal justices now bring you Project 2025, also known as the Presidential Transition Project. Project 2025 is a 922-page collection of conservative policy proposals from the Heritage Foundation to reshape the United States federal government and consolidate executive power should a Republican Party candidate win the 2024 presidential election. And if not 2024, then 2028 or 2032, or whenever the next Republican becomes a president, or King Fascist the First. I'll tell you what's in it, but I won't. And it's not because if I tell you I have to kill you. I won't do it because why should you believe me? You should download the PDF file and read it yourself. It won't kill you. But if they implement these policies, that can literally kill you. Removing the government's ability to make companies provide clean and safe food, making sure that we have access to clean air and water, leaving disputes between the people and corporations to the courts when the courts are stacked against the people, implementing a national abortion ban with no exceptions and punishing women who somehow manage to get an abortion and the doctors who provide them, making corporations people and making people powerless slaves to those corporations. And don't get me started on the abolishment of rights of non-white, non-male, non-Christian, non-straight people. Kevin Roberts says that there will be a bloodbath if the left makes it a bloodbath. Either way, they're planning on taking over. It's like saying you can consent to being raped or you can fight it and get raped anyway. The choice is yours. How do you want to be violated? This is a URL for the PDF, and this is me asking you to not take my word for it. Take theirs. Now, if I get 100 comments requesting me to make an audio recording of it, I will make one and post it on YouTube if someone else hasn't already done it. Look, these right-wing elites are calling for a civil war where they would wind up with all of the power without any of the sacrifices. Sound familiar? As I said earlier, history repeats itself because we weren't listening the first time. I'm G.D. Fenderson, certified forensic humorist, now with New Joke Technology. Thank you for watching Critical Joke Theory. If you enjoyed it, please like and share it. And please check out Done Way Past Funny on YouTube, Knob TV, and Spark TV, and watch The Church of Last Resort streaming live on Sundays on YouTube at 9 a.m. Eastern. Be safe out there, and don't feed the crazies. Critical Joke Theory with your host, G.D. Fenderson, certified forensic humorist. Now with New Joke Technology.